Alright, what's going on, guys? Beastars Manga Chapter 177. Let's get right into it. So, in the last manga chapter, we saw Legosi. It looked like his fangs grew back, and he in fact confirms this. It looks like his grandpa Gosha's blood resides within him, and he inherited the regenerative powers. So that's pretty interesting stuff. Now, will he have scales like his mother Liano had? We're not really sure. I mean, he's only got 25% Komodo Dragon blood. Maybe he won't be afflicted with that specific transformation. But, you know, we'll have to wait and see. So the battle between the Dokugumi guy and Legosi continues. We find out his name is Saban, and we got a pretty epic posing panel here. Very nice artistic work, and it's even got the verses, Legosi versus Saban. So it almost kind of looks Mortal Kombat-esque. So for any fans out there, I'm sure you'll enjoy that. Then Legosi has a very introspective moment after all the posing. Legoshi's kind of looking at the ground, and he's noticing that the torches are reflecting off of the scales of the various Komodo dragons from the Dokugumi. And he's kind of noticing that it looks like a disco ball, and he's mentioning how he feels very warm and he feels very safe. It kind of reminds him of his grandpa at this moment, so probably not the best time to be reminded of his grandpa, but how can you not when you're fighting a Komodo dragon and your grandpa's a Komodo dragon? So very interesting little manga panel, and if this ever does get adapted into the anime, I'm very fascinated to see how this looks, because it reminds me of that episode, oh man, what was it? They went to the Black Market Alley, what was it, episode 5 or 6, I want to say? And Legosi was talking to Oba after the whole incident at the Black Market Alley, and they had all these like colorful lights, and it was very picturesque. So I expect something very similar here during the battle with Legosi and the Dokugumi guy. Then, unexpectedly, Legosi gets whacked in the face by the tail of the Dokugumi guy. Very nice manga panel once again. I gotta say, for any readers of Dorohedoro, this guy does look kind of like a smaller, skinnier version of Kaiman. He's even got a mask on as well. He doesn't have the spikes on the back of his head, but, he looks very similar. Even like his attire, like the jacket he's wearing kind of looks like the black jacket Kaiman's wearing all the time. So very fascinating stuff. Who knows, maybe Q Hayashida and Paru Itagaki are secretly friends, and she's like, hey, I'm thinking about drawing this Dokugumi guy. I kind of want him to look like Kaiman. You got any pointers? So, who knows? Now, it's very interesting during this moment in the battle, because the Dokugumi guy is talking about sea glass, and he's talking about how it goes in the ocean and it becomes polished and basically becomes less sharp. And then he's talking about, let's see if you can keep up with our surfing. I'm not really sure what this reference was alluding to in terms of like the sea glass and becoming more shiny and stuff. I don't know. I mean, was there some sort of symbolic meaning behind this that I just missed? Let me know in the comments if you think you know what he's talking about, but this one just kind of went over my head, or maybe it just wasn't explained clearly enough. But anyway, he takes some of his own venom from his mouth, and he deteriorates the side of a building, a very old building that's already kind of crumbling. And then he pulls Legosi into the building, and they're gonna have their final bout inside. And then it eventually gets to the point where Saban takes off his own tail. He just kind of snaps it off like a carrot or something. And he tosses it to Legosi. And it turns out that the guy had a little bomb strapped onto his tail, and it blows up right in Legoshi's face. And that's how we end manga chapter 177. So very fascinating fight so far. And this is only the first of 4 fights. So after this, I believe if Legoshi's able to survive the battle, he's gonna have to fight the Jaguars. And then, what was the one after the Jaguars? Was it like some sort of fox or something? Or were they wolves? Like Legosi? I think they might have been wolves. And then he's gonna have to fight Melon. I just don't know how, after all 4 of these battles, he's gonna have enough stamina to be able to take on Melon, unless there's some sort of like intermission in between, or like I mentioned this previously, maybe he'll be able to tag in like Yafia or Louis, or probably not Louis, because I don't think Louis could really fight much, or the little bunny girl who's really badass and was kicking his ass before. I forget her name. Oh, Ku. So maybe she'll come into the fold at some point, because she's just been kind of put on the sidelines for a while here, so we really don't know what's going on with her. But I believe Legoshi's probably going to get injured to the point where he just can't continue fighting all the time. So I believe Ku will come in at some point. She'll probably take on one of the battles, because I mean, come on, Legoshi's all by himself and he's going up against teams of gangsters. So I believe Ku will take on one of the battles. Yafia will probably take on another battle, and then Legoshi will recover enough to the point where he'll be like, okay guys, I'm gonna take on Melon. So we got quite a long battle ahead of us here, so it's gonna be very fascinating to see how this all resolves. But very explosive manga chapter with a lot of beautifully drawn manga panels, and yeah, just good stuff, guys. But I think I'll leave it there for now. If you got a chance, go check out my Beastars timeline video. I released that yesterday. That goes over the major plot points and character progressions for seasons 1 and 2. But yeah, I think I'll leave it there for now, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the flip side.